Good morning, Gordon. We're talking about the Double Helix earrings today.
These are beautiful earrings. I've longtime favorites from, I don't know, about 20 years ago, I think. I have a pair in gold, which is, of course, one preferred way of presenting them. They are a double helix, which means it's like the DNA spiral of chromosomes. If you want to get technical on the scientific level, but they are such a lovely shape to my eye, and a complicated shape as they spin around, which is why they make good earrings.
Similar to like a spiral staircase, right? The way that they intertwine.
Yeah, two of them crossing back and forth.
And so talk to us about how you make, and originally you were saying you cut inlay turquoise for them so that you had...
There is one pair that I cut a stone to inlay in each of these openings. Each one is different from the other, so they're not standard or uniform, and I had to keep track of the stones to fit the stones as I cut them to fit into a particular opening. But we're showing the concept of the manufacturing of it. In order to cast any metal piece, I need waxes. So I carved the bell or the earring in this case once, then cast that, made a mold of that, then cast two more to make a gang mold so that I could cast them as a pair, which would be more efficient than casting them one at a time and matching them. They are the same design.
Same design. And so when you molded them in the gang mold, you actually took the top and put it at the bottom?
Well, actually, the mold is always to the bottom, because the bottom of the piece has the most weight. It has the most simple part to polish off the place where the sprue is. We need the sprue for the casting, and that allows then the earring, the little ring at the top, to hold as the earring cast open, so I don't have to drill that. So it's a clean design that way, cleaner design.
Okay, let's talk about the mold.
And the mold is fairly simple in that we always cut from the sprue, which is where the metal enters, or the wax enters the mold, and where the metal will enter the casting, and cutting it, bisecting it, so that I can keep track of. So it divides evenly, and then cutting again from, as usual, from the sprue down. And then it becomes more complicated as you get into the spiraling parts, because the rubber goes into each of those holes in a series of alternating directions, so that's the only tricky part to cut the mold, so that they pop open.
Yeah, so hold it closed for a second.
Yeah.
So see how this, I'm just trying to get it to focus. See how this looks like it would go all the way through, but then if you flex the mold, it actually opens so that it allows the wax to come out. Did you, when you pull your waxes out, are they warm so that they're a little bit more flexible?
A little bit, and yes, slightly warm so they're a little more flexible, but still hard enough that we don't get distortions and that we don't bend them too much.
Okay. And so you would have just cut it out from top to bottom, correct?
Exactly, because that's the easiest way to keep your bearings as you go into the interior of the mold. And cutting it with a scalpel in your hands, you've got to be careful and precise.
Well, thank you for sharing your skills and your knowledge.
You're welcome.